Hey YouTube, how you doing today? Just wanted to do a quick video just to discuss with you a 3-month review of the Canon G7X Mark II camera that I bought back in October last year. I'm actually filming this on my old phone, my Samsung Galaxy S7, which I haven't actually done for about 3 months now. It's been quite a while because I've been using this guy for all of my videos for the last 3 months. Credit where credit's due though, the Samsung Galaxy S7 was actually an awesome phone. I used it for nearly 2 years doing all the videos in this channel, and it was pretty flawless really. I mean, the image quality was superb, autofocus is amazing. All in all, it was a pretty awesome phone, but it was always a goal of mine to get a decent camera for this channel, just to try and make it a bit better. And it was something I kind of worked towards for quite a while. This channel eventually managed to earn enough money to actually buy a camera, and I spent a really long time watching different review videos on different cameras, reading reviews, watching comparison videos, because I wanted to get the right camera for what I wanted. And I ended up getting the Canon G7X Mark II because it ticked pretty much every single box that I was looking for. There's a lot of cameras out there and they all are great at doing different things, but for me, I wanted something that will fit in my pocket easily. I want something that I can carry around. I want something I can just pick up, click a button, film something, because that's what daily vlogging does really. I don't want to be lumping around a massive camera and have to worry about carrying it everywhere. So for me, I was really looking at getting a point and shoot camera, one that fits in my pocket. And to be honest, I pretty much narrowed it down to the Canon G7X Mark II, and the alternative was the Sony RX100 Mark V. Now, there's a lot of comparison videos between the two cameras out there, but to be honest, the main fundamental difference that I found between the Canon and the Sony was that the Sony's nearly twice the price of the Canon for one. But if you put that aside and actually look at the two cameras next to each other, then the Sony for me seemed very professional, and it was a lot more sort of scientific and edgy than the Canon was. The autofocus was better, the picture quality was supposedly better. I think there's a lot of settings you could do. There's the slow-mo is supposed to be good, the time-lapse is supposed to be good. And, you know, for a camera, it seemed like a really good camera. But for me, I wanted to get something a bit more simpler than that. I'm not that up-to-date and sort of geared up with photography and cinematography and everything like that. And the Canon, it's kind of easy to use. The interface is really good. There's only a few buttons on the back. You can change the settings on it, but it's not crazy. It's not, you know, you don't have to be like a camera whiz to understand it. So it's quite user friendly, and that was kind of what I was looking for. So I was swaying more towards the Canon because I felt like it was a more all-rounder. It was a more sort of press the button and off you go sort of thing, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So the main things that I really like about the Canon is the fact that it's quite a small size. I suppose it's pretty much the kind of size you would expect for a camera. You know, it's about the same size. It's quite heavy, but it's not too heavy. It feels really well built. It's, you know, it's not plasticky and fully aparty, if that's even a word. I don't think it is. Another thing that I noticed as well is with the zoom, you can twist the camera lens here. Well, not the lens, but the outside of here. And there's actually a switch that you can flick, which turns the clicking off. Because I think on the old one that you just had it like that, so it made a noise if you zoomed in on the video. But you can actually flick that and it's a smooth transition. Although I don't really use that much, to be honest, anyway. But yeah, the image quality is fantastic. I'm really happy with it. You can adjust some of the settings on it. I mean, I've done a few settings on there. If I go onto the menu, then you can click on menu here, and then you've got all sorts of different settings you can do. I won't go through them now because there's too many of them. But yeah, you can adjust sort of basic things on there, which is quite good. You know, I've changed a couple of bits and pieces. What is important though is that when you transfer the files from the camera to your computer for editing, you need to make sure that you are exporting your edited videos in exactly the same format as they are on the camera, because otherwise it can mess it up, and that was something I was doing for quite a while and it was affecting the image quality. So don't do that. Make sure the files stay the same with bit rates and image sizes, frames per second and all that sort of thing. I also really like the fact that on the top of the camera here you can adjust the exposure with the little twisty thing there. I don't actually really use it, to be honest, but I do like that it's there. And also there is a number of settings on the top one that turns as well, which is quite good. You can have it on automatic, but I have it on P. I'm not quite sure what it's for, but I've got all of my settings saved on P, so I like to keep it on there because otherwise it can like mess things up a bit, and I don't really like that. The only thing is though, is if you're not careful and you're taking it out of your pocket and you're putting it in your pocket, I've knocked that before onto something different and then recorded something and it's not quite been as good as I wanted it to be, and then all of a sudden I've realised and I've been like, oh, I can't believe I knocked that. And the same goes for the zoom as well, because there's another zoom on the top here. I think you can change what these actually do on the settings menu, but I don't really sort of do that. But sometimes I've knocked that because it's set to zoom and it zoomed in slightly on the video. Not that it can be a big deal, but I've filmed something before, or filmed myself, and I've been zoomed in miles and all you can see is like my nose or something, and it's really annoying because then you've wasted some of your video. A couple of bad things about the camera, which I don't like. The first thing is the microphone when it's windy. I know you can buy these like wind muff things that you can glue on the top. I haven't done that. No particular reason really. I just didn't really want to start cutting things and sticking things on the camera. Just personal preference, but I haven't really been in many windy situations. There's been times when I've been outside and it's been really windy and yeah, you can really notice it. And I think that is one of the downsides to the microphone, but you can get around that by putting a wind like muff thing on there. Another point I want to mention is the autofocus can be really slow. Quite often I'll hold something up to the camera to film it and it just won't focus on it, and you're holding it there for ages trying to get it into focus and it just takes forever. Or you could be filming something or filming yourself if you're vlogging and sometimes it doesn't really focus. Again, you can put in face recognition on the camera, so you can take pictures of yourself or other people and the camera will recognise when you're in the frame, so therefore it will focus on that person or on yourself, rather than trying to search for something, which is quite good. I do like that, but again the autofocus is a little bit slow, and it can be slow, but it's not the end of the world. If you'd like to see some of the videos that I've done with this camera over the last 3 months, then make sure you check out our channel and have a look at the most recent videos. They've all been filmed using the Canon G7x Mark II, and that'll give you a real sort of first-hand perspective of how well the camera performs from a daily vlogging perspective. Would I recommend the Canon G7x Mark II? Again, it really depends on what you want from a camera. If you're going to be taking videos inside all the time, then you may want a DSLR camera. But if you are on the move, you're daily vlogging, you want something that you can fit in your pocket, and you want great image quality, I would really recommend the Canon G7x Mark II. I think it's a great camera. I'm so happy that I decided to go with it. Yes, the Canon's over £500 to buy, or about $600 or whatever it works out to be. So it is expensive. Although the RX100 is £1,000, I think, so it's a lot more expensive. If you have a relatively new smartphone, the camera on that will be more than sufficient. I was more than happy using my phone, and I didn't really want to get a lesser camera or a cheaper camera because I thought that my phone is perfectly fine. I mean, I filmed this whole video using my phone, and there wasn't really much point getting a slightly better camera. And I thought that if I'm going to get one, I'd rather save up for a bit longer, keep using my phone, so I can eventually afford to get the G7X Mark II. And I'm really glad that I did that because it really is a fantastic camera. It ticks every single box that I'm looking for anyway. So if you agree with the points that I've made about the Canon G7X Mark II, or you disagree with anything I've said, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. I hope that this might have helped you. I know that when I was looking to buy a camera, I watched pretty much every single video going about the Canon G7X Mark II, comparison videos, everything like that. I really hope this video helped you out. And don't forget to check out the videos on our channel if you haven't already. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.